first lighting technique we are going to demonstrate is the 3-point lighting. This uses a fill light, a key light and a backlight to give a nice glow to the subject that creates minimal shadows. As you can see, we place the backlight slightly behind the subject, creating a halo around the subject, whilst also illuminating their face. We then have the fill light, which eliminates shadows caused by the key light, giving the lighting a softer look, rather than having harsh shadows on the subject's face. Finally, the key light is the main light source lighting the subject, giving the subject a glow and creating cinematic shadows, which are then softened by the fill light. We place the fill light to the right of the subject to create a wide area of light, whereas we place the key light on the subject's left side in order to even out the light on the subject's face. 3-point lighting is seen in interviews, film and often music videos as it gives your film a cinematic look. The next lighting setup we demonstrate is 4-point lighting, which essentially is the same as 3-point, except we add a blonde to the other side of the subject's face that evens out the shadows even more and lights up the background. This can also be used in music videos, interviews, and especially when promoting a film, as it could light up the film's poster in the background, promoting the film more effectively than 3-point lighting would. Next up we have spotlighting, which lights up the subject in a harsh direct light that leaves the background and other parts of the shot darker. We did this by using a key light with its flaps brought in to make the lighting more direct on the subject. It also darkens the background completely, making the scene seem very isolated. This is mostly used in live performances or film and scenes of interrogation or performance, as it brings all the audience's attention to the subject and is rather harsh, with minimal shadows as it shines directly on the subject. Our next technique is backlighting, that creates a halo around the silhouette, creating shape and darkness. This creates a very cinematic shot that makes a shot seem very ominous, as it completely blacks out the subject's features, except for the outline of their silhouette. We did this by placing a blonde behind the subject slightly to the side to create a golden halo around her head and shoulders. The placement of the light not only lighting up her outline, but is also out of the camera shot, making it seem natural. Our next lighting technique is side lighting, which we create by moving the blonde to one side of the subject to create harsh shadows on the subject's face and to convey a cinematic shot. Side lighting is common in films and music videos, as it is a very dramatic lighting technique which sculpts the face and leaves complete darkness on the other side of the subject's face. The next technique we demonstrate is silhouetting, which we did by moving the blonde directly behind the subject and lowered it so it would create a halo around the whole subject. This creates an outline of the subject's body that completely blacks out the subject's features, similar to backlighting. This is also used in film and music videos, as it is a very cinematic lighting technique. It is important that the subject's body covers the whole of the light to get the right look and avoid glare in the lens. Gels are common in music videos as it coats the whole subject in a different colour that creates a bright and colourful pop that most music videos try to achieve. It can also mimic being in a club or concert, which is a common theme in music videos. We added the gels by clipping them onto the key light flaps to secure them on and create a still look that covers the whole of the subject. As we see the purple gel, it creates a lot of shadows around one side of the subject's face, creating a cool cinematic shot. Whereas the orange is quite bright and lights up the subject more harshly than the purple did. The orange gel could be used to mimic lighting such as a sunset, as it resembles the same orange glow. The next technique is the use of Venetian blinds to create ominous shadows over the subject's face. We did this by opening the flaps on the key light as far as possible to create a wide area of light before moving the Venetian model in front of the key light to create a shadow on the subject's face and body. We moved the Venetian blinds away from the key light to create more sharp shadows on the subject's face. As well as this, we also adjusted the height of the Venetian model to get the look we wanted on the subject. This is commonly used in film noir films and music videos, as it is a very cinematic shot that is seen as quite dramatic. For strobing, we used an app on one of our phones that allows the flashlight to be turned on and off at a fast pace to create a strobing effect on the subject. We raised the phone up high to mimic lights in the club. Strobing is common in music videos, mostly as it is quite an energetic technique that resembles lights in a club where lots of music videos are set. For practical lighting, we turned the brightness up on one of our phones to illuminate her face in a way that resembles uplighting, as it creates spooky shadows on her face. It is a very low light and only illuminates the subject's face and hands, with the phone creating lots of shadows on the subject's face. Practical lighting such as this is mostly used in film and can add to the narrative lots of the time. We use the key light as a primary source of light for the reflector to reflect onto the subject's face, so we could use the reflector to light the other side of the subject's face. As you can see, we demonstrated using both sides of the reflector and the effect it has on the lighting, with the mirror side creating more light on the subject's face with harsher shadows, whereas the white side almost acted as a fill by eliminating some minor shadows on the subject's face. Reflectors can be used in most media types, as it is mostly used to even out the light on a subject. For temperature lighting, we used overhead lights that could be adjusted with the control board to demonstrate temperature lighting. The first light seen is a harsh orange colour that creates harsh shadows on the subject's head, but is warm. This is called warm white and uses 2000 to 3000 kelvins to create the warmer light. The other light we see is a whiter and lighter colour called daylight that lights up a wider area with less shadows created on the subject's head, but is slightly colder. This is because it uses 4,000 to 600 to 6,300 kelvins, making a brighter, more intense light over the subject. Our final lighting technique is hard and soft lighting. An example of hard and soft lighting is Rembrandt lighting, which is similar to side lighting, but also illuminates the other side of the face slightly. We did this by placing a key light that we lowered to be even with the subject in height on one side of the face, but moved it around until we saw what resembled with the Rembrandt lighting. You can tell when a lighting technique is Rembrandt lighting, as you'll be able to see a triangle of light on the subject's cheek as it sculpts their face. You can also tell that the Rembrandt technique is a hard lighting method, as it creates harsh shadows on the subject's face. Differing from hard lighting, soft lighting uses a fill light to create the soft light look on the subject's face that creates minimal shadows. A fill light is used to cover the large areas of space with light, creating a soft, flattering look on the subject's face. An example of soft light is natural lighting.